Assalamu alaikum class, and welcome to another episode of our World Civilizations class. And today we'll be dealing with the last great Islamic empires. Between the 15th and the 20th centuries, there arose three great Islamic empires. These were the Ottoman Empire, the Safavid Empire, and the Mughal Empire. Here is a map that shows the expanse of these three empires. And this shows the lands ruled by Muslims in the year 1700s, the 18th century. As you can see, the Mughal Empire in what is modern-day India, the Safavid Empire in modern-day Iran and parts of Iraq, and the Ottoman Empire, which extended from Turkey, the Balkans, and parts of North Africa. Now let us turn our attention to the Ottoman Empire. The modern land of Turkey was the central location of the Ottoman Empire, even though it extended beyond these borders. The founder of the Ottoman Empire was Mehmed II, who was also known as Mehmed or Muhammad the Conqueror. Here is a brief chronology of the Ottoman Empire. Approximately in the year 1301, the Ottoman Principality was founded by Osman in what is known today as the city of Bursa. Then the next major event after that was the Ottomans, the tribal people that had occupied Bursa, crossing the Dardanelles into Europe. The most important event in this period was the conquest of the city known then as Constantinople, and this took place in 1453 by Muhammad the Conqueror, who ruled from 1451 to 1458. And there were many events that took place after that until the end of the empire in 1918, after the end of World War I. Here are some of the accomplishments of the Ottoman Empire. Very briefly, the conquest of Constantinople, the expansion into the Middle East, the Balkans, Crimea, and North Africa. The Ottomans were also very successful in establishing a system of taxation and law, and were very successful in the building of many structures, some of which are still evident today, such as the Great Museum of Topkapi and the myriad of mosques built all over Turkey. The decline of the Ottoman Empire came about because of several reasons. We can summarize these basically by the fact that they were blocked by all sides. It had expanded to the extent that it was pretty difficult to, to, to administer. And also, the Ottomans had been depending a lot on agriculture and wars, and the economy could not adjust to the European system of capitalism and industrialization. Now let us pause for a brief moment and have a brief comprehension check. Please take 1 minute to read the following question and choose the correct answer. If you chose the second choice, the Meccan, you were correct. Now let us turn to the Safavid Empire. The Safavid Empire existed mainly in the area we know today as Iran, and it came about from the descendants of a hereditary Turkish spiritual leader who was a Sufi leader, who claimed that he was the descendant of the seventh Imam of the 12 Shiism. Um, Here is a map of the Safavid Empire and the various incursions that took place. As you can see, these were possessions that occurred between the years 1500 and approximately 1722. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, ruler of the Safavid Empire was Shah Abbas the First, pardon, who ruled from 1588 to 1629. He was successful in repelling an incursion by the Ottomans out of Azerbaijan, and also by defeating the Uzbeks in Khorasan. But perhaps his greatest accomplishment was to break the monopoly of the Portuguese in the Arabian Gulf, also known as the Persian Gulf. The Safavid ruler Shah Abbas I was also successful in opening and establishing trade with the English and the Dutch, and during his reign, many magnificent buildings were established, especially in Iran. Now, the decline of the Safavid Empire came about because of the many battles and infighting that took place, and it was very difficult to fight on both fronts. In other words, dealing with the Ottomans on the one side and the Uzbeks on the other side, and not to mention the decrease of its economic power. Another comprehension check. Please take a few seconds and read the following question and choose the correct answer. If you choose the last choice, broke a Portuguese monopoly in the Arabian Gulf, then you chose the correct answer. The next topic we will deal with is the Mughal Empire. The origins of the Mughal Empire, the origins go back to the conquest of Babur, who marched in India in 1527. And Babur had an empire that extended from Bihar all the way to the Deccan Plains in the south, from the Himalayas to the Deccan Plains in the south. But the greatest ruler, perhaps, of the Mughal Empire was Akbar. Interestingly enough, his name also means great. Um, some of his accomplishments had to do with the economic system, but above all, he tried to woo the favors of the non-Muslim population. He tried to gain the support of the non-Muslim populations, and this created some problems for him with the Muslims who adhered strictly to Islamic beliefs and practice. For example, Akbar canceled the poll tax on non-Muslims, uh, known as jizya, and he tried to. Well, before we move further, here is a map that shows the extent of the Mughal Empire, especially during the time of Akbar. Um, as we were saying earlier, Akbar um, tried to gain the support of the non-Muslim population, and he went to what some consider extremes to do so, and established a religion that he named Din Ilahi, which was an eclectic type of faith which brought together the Jains, the Buddhists, the Brahmins, the Parsis, are also Zoroastrians, and the Christians. He had many debates in what is known today in the Fatehpur Sikri, which is near Agra, and he had many overtures towards the non-Muslims. After Akbar, another great Mughal was Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Jahangir perhaps was responsible for the beginning of the demise of the Mughals, because he was the one that allowed the English to establish a trading post in Calcutta. Shah Jahan, of course, was well known for his love of the art, and his greatest accomplishment was the building of the Taj Mahal. Uh, this is a list of the chronology of the Mughals in India to present, up until the 1800s, from the 1500s to the 1800s. And this brings us to the end of our preview for this class, and here are some review questions which we will be dealing with in class. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you in class next Tuesday.